Why is Liverpool not scoring more goals when opponents get red cards? It's a funny question. It's an interesting question because players seem to get sent off against Liverpool in every game. I think something that hasn't been mentioned a lot really is the aggressive approach that teams have taken against Liverpool this year. There's been so many bad challenges against Liverpool players. I know there's been this rule change where referees are kind of more lenient about certain types of tackling. So maybe that's inspired players to throw themselves into things like idiots. I'm not really sure. That's another discussion, and that's not really related to your question, but I think that is worth talking about maybe at a later date. But why are they not good at scoring more goals? Mostly they don't need to score. You think about Man United, they didn't need to score. Who cares? They got were they 5-0 up before the red card or 4-0 up before the red card? I'm not even sure, but it becomes a routine, an exercise in fatigue management. If you're 5-0 up with 30 minutes to play, just control the game, and then Liverpool did. So they got the massive result. They made Man United look stupid. They they were able to play a high intensity game for like 45 minutes, and then they just relaxed for the rest of it. That's the perfect result. So they didn't need to score in that one. Atletico, they did score with the red card. They started to assert themselves on games more. This is the key fact, and it's not about the goals. It's about how the game changes after a red card. If Liverpool are struggling to assert themselves, if they're struggling to um, set the tempo and make the game go their way, and then a red card comes, and then suddenly it's all Liverpool, that's a good reaction. That's how they want to approach the games. That happened against Atletico in both occasions. I would say Atletico did well until the red card. They retreated back into their shells like Chelsea did, and like Leeds did as well, which is another example. And Liverpool were very comfortable against Leeds, but the red card aided towards that comfort greatly. Um, Maybe I don't know if there's this idea that if a team gets sent off, then they're suddenly going to become a lot weaker. It doesn't happen that way. A lot of the time, it's the opposite. A lot of the time, they consolidate. They just become ultra defensive. And if you've got 6 men defending, you get a red card. Suddenly, you've got 8 men defending because you've got the red card. They come backwards in response to the open space, so they defend more, so that you're less likely to score a goal against a team that has a red card a lot of the time because they just want to defend. You're less likely to concede. Liverpool conceded very few chances when the opposition had a red card too. It's important to look at it that way, I think. I say, why are they not scoring more goals when there's a red card? Is because the opposition respond in a very defensive way to their red card. That's a simple answer for Richard. It's a very fair question, though. It's one that I'm sure many others have wondered. But it's just not getting a red card doesn't open the game in the way that some people think it does. In fact, it closes it. I hate red cards because it kills the contest a lot of the time. One team suddenly stops trying to play when they're a man down because it destroys game plans and ruins positional sort of tactics. It's really difficult to play with a red card. It's difficult to play against one. Stop sending off players is the answer for me. But then also stop tackling like idiots. That would also be another solution to that.